Hey folks, excuse me. I was kind of delayed in getting this one out. Apologize for bumping the mic. I was trying to do a kind of like a show and tell on the last one I did using this as a desktop publishing program, but I just couldn't get an idea. I had that dreaded creative block, so I figured I'd go ahead and proceed forward. And because my wife got a Cameo machine to help with her sewing, but mainly for me for vinyl, because I used to do a lot of vinyl work and everything. We may have some jobs coming up for it, so I figured I'd do something that tied into what I said the next video would be, which will be tracing. A lot of vector programs nowadays have this feature. Some do it better than others. Inkscape does a pretty decent job. Illustrator does, and as you see on the screen, Corel. There are third-party programs that can do it too. The only one I have a little bit of experience with is Vector Magic, but it's a little on my price range right now, so I'm not going to even deal with it. There's another one I'd like to maybe try, but they're trying to gear mainly towards business, and I don't know if they will license do the subscription. Excuse me, tongue-tied. For somebody that's kind of like home hobbyist, so I need to kind of figure that out. We're going to go ahead and do a couple logos. I am a car enthusiast, of course. I love the older stuff. I don't really care for the new stuff at all. I much rather would have an older car than a newer car, but neither here nor there. So what we're going to do is I went ahead and searched Google for a few we can try, and I'll show you some of the things that CorelDRAW's built-in vectorization program can do. It's called PowerTrace. So what I'm going to do, there's several ways you can bring something in. You can either import it here, go to File and Import. You hit either Control I, or in the case of this, I could just go to my folder, select the one, that's the one I want to use, the Judge logo from the old GTO Judge, and just drag and drop it right in the program. Boom. Now, there's a couple of things that you need to know before you even start. Okay, try to get the biggest, cleanest image you can find. If you can't, then try to do a couple of upsampling tricks or something to try to do that. Try to get something that's not anti-aliased if you can. Try to get something that's pretty much sharp, even if it's sharp blocks. Sharp blocks is easier and better than excuse me, anti-alias, because anti-alias adds in colors, whereas in a sharp block, it just adds in an edge. And what you can do with the edge is smooth it out, and I'll show you that control coming up. So this one here, I've already did this one. This one did work pretty good. As you can tell by the bottom part of my screen here, I'll move my mouse. It's a 96 by 96 DPI. It's not the greatest in the world, but at the same time, this did work pretty well for what I was wanting to do with the logo. So now that you got it in here, and we said, okay, we're going to go ahead and vectorize this. There's a couple ways you can do it. The two easiest ways, of course, is to hit the button up here, or to click on it, right click, and then go to, an option here. Either way. What we're going to do for this one is I'm going to say detailed logo on an outline trace. Now, a centerline trace, what this will try to do is it will try to find the edge, go into the center, and just leave you with a series of lines. Think of this as like trying to do like a monoline type font or something like this. And the first one's technical illustration. What they're trying to do here is say, hey, if you got technical illustration, this might be the preset you might want to try. Same thing with the line art drawing. You can try this one first. Now, if you don't want to, if you want lines instead of solid objects, try this one. But for an outline trace, what it's going to do is try to find all edges and put a vector around it, and try to be a little smarter than the average bear, and try to do some combining and things like that to try to get you a shape more than a line. Sorry for the whistling. I've had some issues with my teeth, so. But same thing here, line art, you can try that. If you got simple line art, you could do a logo, detailed logo, and it keeps going progressively higher. Now, as you go progressively higher, the more it's going to try to preserve colors and things like that, and that may or may not be what you want. So kind of judge by the logo and see where you need to go. Now for this judge logo, I'm going to use this detailed logo. I'll click on it and it brings up the PowerTrace window. Takes a couple of seconds and boom. As you see, this actually did a pretty good job of getting what we need. I'm going to go into this one a little bit deeper on the next example because, excuse me, this here is pretty neat, and I'll tell you why. See, I had it checked from before to remove a background, and what it did is it tried to say, okay, what is the background color of this, and remove it. And that's what it did. It would remove the white. You see the transparent background there, the checkerboard? That means that that's transparent, which is what I want. Okay. Now I got mine set for large preview here. Most likely you might have a before and after like that. I do a before and after to make sure I got enough detail to do what I need to do. See, it kind of smoothed over a little bit, so I'm going to kind of make it a little crisper by moving this slider back. There we go. That looks a little bit better. It looks a little closer to what we had there. And what you do here is with these controls, they're preset when it runs, but then what you can do is you can change these. And what detail does is it will try to find more edges and add more edges to the final result, which you see on the right. You go more. If I crank this up, it will find about every edge it can find, or if you go less, it will start taking things away. I'll go ahead and crank it down just to show you. See, it took away this outline here on these words. It's saying, okay, I'm just reducing this down to here, and I mean, it really clobbered it. But I mean, maybe you just want maybe this outline for some reason. I don't know, but I'm going to put it back to where it was around there. Smoothing, like I was saying before about the anti-alias, I'd much rather have one that's not anti-aliased and try to get rid of the stair-step effect, that's what it's called, where you get the little jaggies, than try to deal with deleting a whole bunch of color, because a whole bunch of color can really not only crank up how many colors are in your design that you got to deal with, but also can be a nightmare to pull them out and everything else, which I'm going to show you the trick here coming up, which is going to work for both this example and the next one. So right now, you know, the smoothing is fine. I mean, I want it a little smoother than what that is because I want to account for that. And so far, to me, it looks pretty good. I mean, now, if you want to be really anal about it, yes, you can come in here and just inside this window here and just kind of scroll up on the mouse wheel, and you can actually see, you know, things like that. See, you can see where that kind of added a different color in, but we're going to take care of that in just a second. Excuse me. And also up here you can see where it got a little bit of a different color yellow because, again, of the anti-aliasing. Let me scroll in. You see how the anti-aliasing to our eyes on a JPEG makes that look nice and smooth and pretty, but how here it added another color, which is not what we wanted. Not what we wanted at all. And as you see, it's adding more things to the artwork, which we don't want. But here's where the fun begins, guys. Now, say like if I knew exactly what colors this original logo was when it was done, I think back in '69, I believe it was, on the '69 Judge. I'm not that old, so I don't really remember the car being made, but I love the car anyway. That you can actually, before you even come out of here and even get it back into CorelDRAW, you can assign these colors to make it exactly that spot color before Corel even sees it again. And let me show you what I mean. Okay, let's go down here for a second and I'll explain that little bit. If you go to delete image right here, and when you click OK, what it's going to do is it's going to take this original image and just wipe it off the program like it never happened. If you're really confident in your trace, you can do that because it will save you a step, but right now I'm going to leave it so we can do kind of like a side-by-side comparison. So I'm going to leave that off. Again, remove background. Automatically choose color. We've already kind of touched on that. It basically will scan and say, okay, I think white is the background color. I'm going to knock it out. If it's not, you can specify a color. Now, specify color in this is quite powerful, and I'll show you on the next example what I mean. but you can specify a different color. Like if that was not the background color, you can knock out something different. And again, I'll show you how this can be used. Then you also got remove color from an entire image. Say like if you wanted all white removed out of here, if you're going to do like maybe a window decal for, you know, a car or something like that, you can actually punch out all of a color right then and there, and it will take out all that color out of the image. So you click once and basically it goes whoop, takes everything out. Merge adjacent objects of the same color. If it finds colors the same and it's touching each other, means it's adjacent, it will go ahead and merge those two objects together to reduce your object count. I usually leave that turned on. There might be some instances you don't want to do that, but most of the time you want to leave that turned on. Remove object overlap. I try to do that, especially if you're going to try to do this in a cutter. You definitely don't want that overlap, because if you say, oh yeah, that looks good, let's send it to the cutter, and you start cutting it, you might have some extra lines in there that you didn't anticipate, and that can become a big problem. So I normally say, yeah, remove the object overlap. And you can also click this group objects by color. Depending, again, what you're trying to do, that may or may not be a good thing. But notice here, on this example here, I count, to my eyes at least, besides the background color, 3 colors. Should be like a yellow, an orangish yellow color. It's probably really yellow, I'm not sure. Again, I haven't seen one of these stickers in real life, so I can't, you know, nail it down. A red and a black. Okay, but if I look down here, I got 24 colors. That's way too much. That's way too much. So I'm going to click on the Colors tab here. And now's where the power and the fun begins with this type of trace. Okay, I can also change it right now. So like if you work with CMYK, because you do a lot of print and your machines do a lot of CMYK, you can change it here. You can go into grayscale, you can go into black and white, you go into a document palette, which it will count all the colors and just use that. There's some other palettes in here. You can even go into Pantones, and that's what I'm saying. If you or True Match, if you know the exact colors of what this is supposed to be, you can actually merge these together and choose the colors. Like for example, if I go to we'll go to Pantone Solid. If I change it right now to that, see, it's going to try to find every one of these as a Pantone. See, notice how all these went to Pantone Black, Pantone, 7421. It did its best guess to try to figure out what those colors are. See how powerful this is? Now we're going to make it even more powerful by actually turning around and merging these together, because we don't need this many colors in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take like the 2 blacks here, okay, take that, and you can see what gets selected by looking at the little crosshairs over here. Let's go ahead and put the large preview up, okay, and I'm going to hold the control key. If I'm trying to get colors that are not side by side, you hit the control key as you click. If you want colors that are all kind of in a line, you hold the shift key. But see, I got everything selected. I'm going to go down here and click merge. Now we're going to finish this up. We're going to make it look really, really, really good, but right now I'm just trying to take the ones, like I'm going to hold shift here and click here. See how it grabbed all 4 of those? I'm going to go ahead and merge these together. These are the yellows, and see if shift will do me good here. Yep, shift did me good here. See, I'm getting all these yellows and and everything else together. Let's see, I think that all 3 of these need to merge together, so I'm going to go here. Okay, I can see that that orange now needs to merge with the red, so I'm going to take that and merge them together. Yeah, I know it's making the logo look ugly, guys. Just hang with me a second here. I'm going to take these 2 and merge them together. Okay, now I need to, let's see, let me scroll in here. Yeah, I need to merge that color with the black. There we go. Now, I reduced that 20 something color palette down to 4, and notice how the curves have went down and the nodes have went down a little bit. Now, I don't know the Pantone color, so I'm going to switch this back to RGB. And see, it undid everything. But, you know, if you stayed where you were at, you would have everything kind of merged together. So I'm going to kind of merge these together again real quick, just to show you how this is not very hard to do. I know that these merge together. I know that these are supposed to merge together. Let's see. More likely these three will merge together. Yep. And I mean, as we knock these colors down, it's going to really merge these together. See, I even got it down to 6 colors and it's looking pretty good. Okay, again, I know that orange and the red need to merge together. Let's see, I know that this one and this one's supposed to merge together. Okay, there we go. Now we're back down to where we were in RGB. Again, if you know the exact color, hold on one second, guys, sorry. If you know the exact color, what I'm getting ready to do next is really just kick it out and we're ready to go. If you know the exact Pantone numbers, here's how we would match it up. But in my case, I'm going to use RGB and we're going to be ready to go. Now, I've already knocked out the white and I don't want the white. If you see a color you just absolutely don't want and it don't help your design none, just go ahead and hit the trash can and get rid of it. See, now I'm down to 3 colors and reduced it down even more. This was our red. We go to edit. Okay, we can change the model here. We can go to the color viewers or whatever we want to do. Okay, but now if you know the name or the color code or whatever else, they'll have this box here and you can say, hey, look, this is what I want. See, for that I want red. And it's a known color that Corel understands. I click OK. That changes all that to red. Look at that. See? Same thing with this. I selected all the yellow, and I know that's supposed to be yellow, so I hit Edit, type yellow, hit OK. Now all that's yellow. I want that to be a black. Well, there I go again. Just start typing B, and it understands black. OK. Boom. Now all that's black. Alright? All I gotta do now is click OK. And boom. Yeah, because of some of the merging and stuff, you may have to come in here and kind of do a little bit of cleanup. Or you might even take a little bit better care on how much we did as far as in combining and things. But realistically, I mean, if you know how to node edit, this won't take very long. Now, some of the third-party programs supposedly got a lot quicker node editing capabilities, and your program that you're using may have a little bit better, some better node editing capabilities. If I was to clean this up for a customer, first of all, I might go back and just try to be a little bit more cautious about what I merged. But second of all, if I had to just keep running with this, it won't take me long, especially if I got the original sitting over here. I can just look at, like I can zoom in and say, okay, you know, that looks okay, but I don't have this, I'm not supposed to have this little hiccup here. I could just, you know, click on this, click on the, whoops, click on the outline first. Whoops, I need to ungroup it. It all comes out in a group, by the way, guys. So I want to ungroup it. Now I can select just that. Point, click, okay, there we go, and we see we got a lot of nodes. Now one thing you can do is click on this, turn that on, and say reduce nodes, and it will try to reduce some of the nodes, but sometimes you will not work. Whoop, because I had everything selected, just wiped out my whole thing. But see, I can just kind of come in here and say, I don't need that one, probably not that one. You know, and I could just come in here and clean up this artwork. You know, take a little bit of time and get this, you know, nice, smooth, and clean. Especially if you're using a cutter, you definitely want this as clean as you can get it. So, you mean, I'm not going to go into node editing on this all day, but, you know, just to show you, you got it in here now, do a little bit of cleanup. However you want to do the node editing, by subtracting shapes, adding shapes, or whatever, but you can get yourself a pretty decent little result. Alright, so we're done with that one. Just bring in the other one. Just kill that out by hitting delete. Go into my little folder. Here comes the Super B. Come into Corel. Whoop. Accidentally brought up my recording software. Sorry about that. And here's Super B. Again, I found a pretty good sized logo on the internet. So it should make it a little easier. Now the goal for this one is I don't want the white background nor the blue background, but again I want to come out with a few colors that I can get away with. So here's where I'm going to say the power of what Corel can do will kind of come in. So I'm going to outline trace. Again, detailed logo will work pretty good for this. And I'll wait. Depending on the memory and the speed of your computer, this may be faster or slower, but remember I am recording at the same time, so I got some other things going on, so keep that in mind. Notice how it did a pretty good job. I'm missing the little piece inside the bee's mouth right here, so I'm going to crank up the detail a little bit, all the way up, matter of fact. Okay, that looks pretty good. Yep, I'm studying that, I like it. Okay, but again, I see 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 colors besides the blue, and I don't want the blue, and we're going to get rid of that here in just a second. I see 4 colors, but this thing's counting 18. You know, we don't want 18. We want to go down to 4. Black, yellow, white, black, yellow, white, and only 3. I'm sorry. Wow, I need some more coffee. We need to go down to at least 3 colors. So, we're going to go down and specify color. Notice how it brings everything back, the background and everything else. Click the eyedropper tool, and let's click on the background. Okay, it gets rid of that, but watch this. You can add more colors to get rid of as a background. Straight in here. I don't have to sit there and say, okay, I'm going to vectorize this and I'm going to get rid of that blue circle. I don't need to. I'm just going to hold Shift and click that circle. See how it gets rid of that blue? Go inside the super, get rid of those. Again, I'm still holding Shift. It got rid of all that blue. Look at that. Now I just got that outline, which is what I was looking for. So, you know, that worked pretty well. But again, I want to reduce these colors down because I don't need 18 colors. I don't need it that complex. I don't need 50 curves if I can help it. See, look at how many colors of white it found, or it thought it found. So I'm going to hold Control, and I'm going to click on all the white. Actually, I want to be careful here. Let me see what whites am I pulling here. Okay, those 2 are connected to the B. That one's connected to the B. That one is outside somewhere. And that one's outside, so yep. So I want these 3 to merge. So shift those, merge those together. Okay, there's a lot of, and you can tell by the RGB codes here, these are pretty close to being black. I'm going to keep clicking. Okay, and you can tell by the little slashes there of what I got selected. It looks like I got everything here. You can scroll in a little bit. Yeah, it looks like I got pretty much everything there on that. So I'm going to merge those together. Okay, all those blues I'm going to merge together. Because I'm going to actually just get rid of that blue right there. Just say, gone. That's super white there. And see, that's all that. What's that one? Oh, there's those. And, ooh, I see a problem. So I probably need to see if I can undo. There we go. Need to merge these 2 together. There we go. Now that looks a little better. That way I get rid of this. Merge all these blacks together. Since they're not all touching, I gotta kind of do the Control key here. And what the heck just happened? Undo. You can always undo this too, gang. So if you there we go. Let me just double check here, because obviously something got messed up. Okay, let's slow down our merging and see where the problem hits. Okay. We're okay on that. Where's that at? Okay, so that is part of the B. We need to merge that with that one. We can get rid of the blue. What in the devil? Okay, we don't need that white one. Uh-oh. Again, we're kind of losing our shape here. I wonder why that's happening, because I know I'm merging everything together. It shouldn't be messing it up that badly, but anyways, what we're going to do is get rid of this white. There we go. We'll fix that part of the logo. But now you see I got down to 4, and that went down from 50 curves to 46. I'm not seeing what this one is here, but every time I trash that one, there we go. Now I'm down to 3. Sometimes you gotta kind of play with it sometimes. But now I've got down to 3. I'm gonna hit OK. Pull this to the side, and there we go. Again, I got my original one I can look at. I can look at this one, and again, for some reason, let's ungroup this. For some reason, I still have my little exhaust thing there, but I don't have. I'm just going to delete that. Yeah, so for some reason I lost my little exhaust here, but luckily there's one that's very similar over here, so I can just right click, move it, right click to make a duplicate, set it down, kind of put it in the shape here. Here we go. Nudge it. I mean, there's going to be some other little flaws in here you're going to find, like right here, how this goes a lot closer to the manifolds and things, and you can, finesse this to make this work exactly, how it's supposed to be, and make it perfect. You just got to have, like I said, some sort of reference to get it done, but it won't take much to really make this work. I mean, you can do, again, shape subtraction or whatever you'd like to do to make that work. Sorry about the microphone again, guys. But anyways, I mean, you can, I'm not sure what I removed right there, so I'm just going to Command Z to put that back. But again, you can sit there and see how quick and easy we just made a vector tracing of something using just CorelDRAW. So hopefully this a little bit will get you guys up and running with it. Try to vectorize some things, have fun with it, and just let me know. My next few videos, again, I'm still going to make one and show you how to do a project. I probably won't be speaking on it, so y'all can clap your hands, go yay. I'll probably just be like a speed thing, show me doing a desktop layout. But I'm also going to do some stuff with a Cameo and actually show not only me creating something, but showing the end product from the machine. So some of the characters are wanting to come up from the Cameo Silhouette Studio to maybe CorelDRAW, something like that. I can actually show you that you can use a program like that along with this to create something kind of nice. And we might even do like glass etch or something like that, but we'll find out where we're going. We might even use, some automotive stuff, because my wife's got a whole bunch of Christmas ornaments, and I make some of the older car logos. Who knows? Just for my enjoyment. Anyways, thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you next time, and again, just keep a watch out, and if you guys got any suggestions for something or something you'd like more explanation of, please let me know, and I'll try when I get a moment to get around to it and help you guys out. Later.